I got to tell you, it really falls right into what I was just talking about being of service. I knew I was going to get married, and I knew that a family was going to come, and I knew that I had to do something other than just make music. Now, I had stopped acting for about 10 years because, like I said, I was a drug addict. So finally got clean. Within the last 5 years, started to come out, making some choices. I moved out of Los Angeles. I moved to Florida, met a woman who I fell in love with, and I wanted to be her husband, and I wanted to be her provider, and I wanted to take care of her. And she had ties to the community, and I knew I was staying here. And the question was, what can I do to be her provider? And I really don't know how to do much but make music and act. And I literally was a crossing thought. I'll go back into acting, so maybe I'll do a couple little things and be able to take care of my family. And the third audition was the audition for The Investigator. And it was literally a miracle. It was just God put me right where I was supposed to be when I was supposed to be there, because I was ready for that next challenge, that next step. And so I auditioned, went through the round of auditions, and finally, after about 5 auditions, they called me and said I got it. And it literally is an absolute miracle. It's my first acting gig in, I think, since 2001. So I took 10 years off. And here I am starring in this film that opens around the theaters. It's playing around the country. So I worked really hard for it. Don't get me wrong. Like I knew what I was doing, and luck is opportunity, and when luck is preparation meets opportunity. And I was getting myself prepared, and then the opportunity showed up. The movie The Investigator is based on true life events of Rich Romano. Now, Rich Romano is Ray Romano's brother. If you've ever watched Everyone Loves Raymond. His real-life brother was a cop in New York and went through a lot of devastating, life challenges. Lost his job. Someone got killed on the job. He lost a child. Almost lost his family. He lost his marriage. And he lost his faith. And it's based on his life, about how he got his faith back and what were the events in his life that got him back on track. And it's just an awesome story. The first time I read the script, I knew that this was going to be an awesome story, and I knew that I had to be a part of it. It's such a strong story, such a strong message that I would have thought it had to be, not reality. I thought it had to be fiction, but it's not. It literally happened to this man, and that's when I realized God was writing the perfect story through Rich's life. And thank God Rich wrote it down and allowed these actors to play his story, allowed me to be his story, and let that story get to the rest of the world. So The Investigator is about how he investigated different aspects of his life and how he came out on the other side. Realizing that God's plan is sometimes better than your plan, but more importantly, seek out the truth. That's the tagline of the film: is seek out the truth. Investigate all things for yourself, even your faith. Investigate your faith. I'm a Christian, and God is so strong and so perfect that I can question anything about Him, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what kind of doubt I would have, I can question, because the truth always stands up to truth. And that's what Rich went through in his life, and that's what my character goes through in the film. Oh, yeah. Yeah. He was down here at the world premiere a couple weeks ago. It's really interesting. He went on Ellen DeGeneres the other day and really plugged the film good. He was very touched to see his brother's life come alive on screen. He was very touched, and it's funny. He kind of jokes that he's a little jealous, but here he is, this big TV star, and he hasn't been able to get a film made and put in the theaters, but Rich has, and that's just a testament to to God's work and Rich's life. You know, as a believer, if you're listening to this interview and you're not a believer, this probably sounds a little kooky, but if you're a believer, and even if you're not a believer, let's just look at it this way. If you are doing something inherently good, and Jesus, the man, was good, he was great. And even if you don't believe he's the Son of God, he was good. So we're making a movie about a man searching for Jesus in his life, searching for truth, searching for good in his life. So the absolute opposite will show up. I think it was Newton that said, for every action, there is an opposite but equal reaction. So here we are, and we're making a film about a man searching for good in his life. The memorable thing to me was all of the bad things that happened on set on almost a daily basis, all of the equipment that would break down, or the weather problems, or all of these, crazy things that would try to stop us from making this film. And we would stop, we would pray. Like, for example, I think one night we were filming a baseball scene, and all of a sudden all the lights went out for no reason. So we would sit and we'd pray, and eventually the lights would come back on. And it was a crazy, crazy adventure of just watching, the devil try to knock us off our path. But we just kind of laughed at him and kept praying and kept going, and that still happens to this day. So that's the interesting part to me. Oh, and you know what else? And beyond just what was on set, I got a personal story, bro. Is that I would come home on weekends, and I'm very, very blessed to say that my wife and I conceived my child, Kynan, during the making of this film. So my beautiful, beautiful boy, Kynan, is now 15 months old, walking and talking. And to think that he was conceived during the making of this film is also another awesome blessing. So I have a beautiful boy, and I have, I kind of have this film to thank for it, too. Right now, it's being shown in Florida, Georgia, New York, Colorado, and California. And the numbers look very, 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 very good. That it might just go national. It might pick up and be in every state pretty soon. Right now, I think we're in 11 to 15 theaters. And hopefully by next month, if people keep coming to theaters the way they are, it will just explode. It'll be in 1,000 theaters, by next month. But right now, you can see it in Miami, Tampa, Orlando, Bradenton, Atlanta, Long Island, Riverside, California, Colorado Springs, Colorado, maybe a few other places that I can't remember right off the top of my head. But if you go to theinvestigatormovie.com, theinvestigatormovie.com, you'll be able to see all the theaters and all the cities that it's playing in. Don't give up. Don't give up on your life. Don't give up on anything that's happening to you, no matter what the circumstances are. And I realize that there are some circumstances that are just tragic. But Rich didn't give up. He kept going, and his life is a testament to perseverance. Even with lack of faith, perseverance. And then I hope people will take away perseverance and then start to question if there's a God up there. Start to question if there's someone that loves them. Start to question these things. Only when you start to question will the answers start to show up. So I hope people seek answers in their own life through this incredible true life story. Well, I'm writing a script with one of our associate producers that should be done soon, and hopefully will be in production early next year. I've filmed 3 movies this year. I have a comedy series called Zombie Cleanup, and it's I don't like zombie or horror movies, but this isn't that. It's literally it makes fun of all that stuff. We're all Christians on the set, and we just kind of have this. It's like The Office meets The Walking Dead, but we just make fun of it all, and it's hysterical. And we're filming that. We're doing the entire season and shopping that soon. So hopefully we'll see more of. I want to see more inspiring films like this come down the path for me. So I hope The Investigator spawns more inspiring roles. So, I mean, I'm continuing to make movies. I continue to make music. I'm looking for a distributor for my record. I have a record called The Very First Time that you can find on CD Baby or iTunes or Amazon or any of those places. I'd like to see myself back on the road, making some more music, spreading the good news through my music. So, but most importantly, all of I've just said to you, that's all my plan. But I've left myself open to God's plan. If God wants something else from me, I'm open to it. So, having said all that, I think God wants me to continue making media with a message. And that's what I'm going to continue to do until he tells me otherwise. You know, the ReverbNation.com/Wade Wlliams. Yes, you can find me on Facebook, Wade Wlliams Music. Or, you know, you're more than welcome to put out my link of the Facebook that you and I have been talking on here. I accept friend requests there. God willing, I truly hope so, and I really appreciate your time too, Jonathan. I really appreciate you, and God bless you, and God bless your ministry, man.